Moving on from rectangles to squares. Now, once again, it's still just, because it's, sides, it's not all crazy and wonky, you still will just do length times width. But the area of a square can be written using the formula A equals S times S, because in a square, the length and the width are going to be the same. So even though it is still length times width, it is also just the side times the side. Now, the reason that is important is because of the way you're going to see this written. You're more often going to see it written like this, and it's in your book. A equals S with a tiny little 2 floating up at the top, like where an apostrophe would be. Well, you got a 2, and that's called squared. When a number is squared, the number is multiplied by itself. So, instead of 4 times 4, you could say 4 squared. Instead of 10 times 10 equals 100, you could say 10 squared equals 100. It just means you times that number by itself, whatever the number is. So, let's go back to our square. And we've got 2 up and 2 across. So that's 2 times 2, or 2 squared. 2 times 2 equals 4. This is 4 square units. What if we take it and divide it up a little bit more? Well, now it's 4 up and 4 down. So side times, did I say 4 up and 4 down? 4 up and 4 to the side. So if we've got 4 as an S and 4 as an S, that's 4 times 4. How would I write 4 times 4 as 4 squared? I need 4 with a little 2 above it, right? And I know either one of those is 16. Now, when you're working out this problem, don't write it both ways like I just did. I just did that to give you an example. But pick which way you're going to write it. And honestly, it doesn't matter which way. I don't think it even makes you pick. It doesn't make you pick which way you want to do it for your work. So, for example, if you're told in a square that a side equals 4.2 feet, you can either say 4.2 times 4.2, or, not and, or you can say 4.2 squared. Doesn't matter which way you want to write it. You can see this is going to write a little bit faster, but if this confuses you still, do this, because we're going to go back to square. As a matter of fact, I think squares are tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to be working more with squares tomorrow. So if you want to wait and learn a little bit more about it tomorrow, do it this way. Either way, it's the same. Your next step is going to be to multiply it by itself. I've already got it written once, so I'm just going to come over here and write it. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. Let's add it up. 6, carry the 1, 7, 1, and then we have 1, 2 decimal points that we need to move over. So 1, 2 decimal points. So a square like this, its area would be 17.64 square feet. That's the lesson. That's all there is to it. Like I said, I don't care which way you want to write it today. If you want to write it side times side, or if you want to write it side squared, either one. Just remember, it's still basically length times width. It is still the exact same thing. But in a square, a lot of times, you're only going to be given one of the sides. Why? Because once you know one, you know them all. And that's why. I really should stop erasing before I get off. Look how it moves the camera. Ooh, I'm on a ship. No, I'm not, because I'm not getting the corona. All right, talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.